Thank you, Devin. And we all lose our balance now and again, but what happens when this becomes frequent, or if it even could lead to our death?
Yeah.
Yes, this morning here to tell us about the dangers of falling is Nurse Christina Paris. Thanks for joining me this morning.
Hi, glad to be here.
Yes, we jumped right from the holidays into, watching how we walk, and it's incredibly important, especially after we just had this winter weather as well.
Right. Yeah, absolutely, because there's ice underneath the snow, so we have to be careful. No matter, what our age, we all have those instances where we fall or trip, whether it's walking in the woods and tripping over a root, or, just slipping on the ice, or somebody who's older and doesn't have good balance and just falls at their house. It's very common and can cause a lot of problems. I loved the Buzz Lightyear from Toy Story. He said, you're flying. He said, no, you're falling with style. So, yeah.
That is certainly a nice way to look at the falling.
We want to fall with style.
Falling with style always.
Yes.
And so what are some important tips and some perhaps facts to know about falling?
Right. So good prevention things that we want to do is, you want to stay physically active. Remove any kind of clutter from your house, especially like floor rugs. If you're unsteady and you've got all those mats and floor rugs and stuff, you want to remove those because they're easy to trip on. They get twisted and rolled up. Have your eyes and hearing tested. So if you're concerned and you can't hear, we have to kind of know. In the military, we always said situational awareness. You want to know what's around you. You want to be able to hear if the dog's coming and, you're going to trip on it, or be able to see things on the floor. Find out medication side effects. Sometimes our medications, like beta blockers, if you have blood pressure issues, those can make you dizzy when you first stand up. So you want to know the side effects. Get enough sleep. Make sure you're monitoring your alcohol intake. We don't want any falls on New Year's Eve. And then stand up slowly. So if you're getting from changing positions from sitting to standing or standing, lying to sitting, sitting to standing, you want to do that slowly. Give yourself a chance to kind of balance out. And then be careful when you're walking on icy surfaces. If you use a cane, or they have those little like claw things, you can get them to go on your boots too. So if you're out like ice fishing, or you're going to be walking around outside, you can get those metal grippy things that you can put on your shoes.
Those little shoe spikes.
Yep.
Yes, I've seen those around. Those look kind of neat.
Yeah. So those are good things to have.
Well, there we go. So we all fall at some point. Are there tips to fall safely, though, when we do fall? There are right ways to fall and wrong ways, and I know Devin, he's been a subject to perhaps maybe the wrong way of falling.
I have too.
Yeah, it's led to some unfortunate shoulder injuries.
Yeah, and I broke my arm a few years ago.
Oh yeah, I recall that. You came out here like that. Yeah, you and Devin were having quite the time that winter.
We were.
Oh goodness. Well, what can we do?
So before falls, like I said, you want to be mindful. You want to focus, know your surroundings, know what's around you. In my house, it's things like dog toys or the dogs, that we've tripped on. Fix your blind spot if there's things that you can't see or that you're tripping over frequently. Get your eyes checked, things like that. Boost your balance by doing exercises. So if you do fall, this was some safety tips that I found from a guy who was a stunt. He was a stunt guy.
Oh, yes.
And so he said one of the big things is don't panic. So you want to, when you're falling, he said, stay bent, stay loose. Because when we get really rigid, that's when we put ourselves at risk for injuries. So you want to stay loose, stay bent, protect your head. So make sure you're tucking your chin down and turning your face when you're falling. And then land on the meaty parts. So we want to try to land on parts that, like our butt and our thighs, and even there's meatier parts of our back, like upper shoulders, things that you can kind of cushion our fall a little bit.
Right.
And then the other thing, keep falling. Don't try to stop yourself. Don't get rigid. That was my fault. I tried to stop myself. I put my arm out straight. Worst thing you can do. That's how I broke my arm. Fell right on my knee. Had I just kind of rolled a little bit when I became unsteady, I probably could have prevented some of those injuries. So you want to make sure that you're doing that. Stay loose. Roll with it. Keep
Right.
glowing, and
No, I was just teaching the partner to do some skiing this weekend. I was teaching him how to fall. So I was just like, you're going to want to hit the butt. The
Right.
butt is the best part to fall on, especially when you're out there on the ski hills. And then, just keep going with it.
You want to keep, my grandmother used to say that. She's like, I don't fall, I just roll. It's like, okay, well, if you're not getting injured. And you also want to make sure you lay there for a few minutes, know where you're at, make sure, find out what hurts, what injuries are. If you're calling for help, make sure you tell EMS exactly what happened. Tell the 911 operator, I tripped and I fell and I hit my arm, I hit my shoulder, hit my head, whatever. You want to make sure that you tell them that. And then make sure they know what location you're in. So tell them, if you have an upstairs or a downstairs, or, I'm in my bedroom. If you go down the hall, turn right, and then know where, let them know if there's keys. I have a key outside. Or some people, those real estate boxes, I know to like WAG, if you have dog walking, they give you those, there's lock boxes you can put outside with a key in it. So you could certainly do that, give the code to EMS so that they can enter your house. I always tell my patients, keep your cell phone with you. If you're unsteady, you don't have one of those life alerts, make sure you keep your cell phone with you so that you can dial 911. Keep it always in your pocket, or if you need to get one of those little holders, you can get a holder for your waist. But keep your phone with you in case you need it. Big thing, remain calm.
Absolutely. I remember we had an individual who fell. We read a story, I think a week or two ago, of a person in Florida. They were blowing leaves on their roof and they fell, and it was a 3-story house. And thankfully they had their phones. They called for help. But it can happen anywhere.
Right. And some of these smartwatches too, you can use to call for help as well.
There you go.
So if you have one of those, but be safe, relax, know your injuries, call for help.
Well, thanks for coming on this morning, and hopefully we can keep upright. Either way, we're going to have what's trending for you right after this commercial break.